Have you ever wanted to know the weather on July 4th, 1776, the day the Declaration of Independence was signed? Well, the weather started off cool. It was around 68 at one reading and ended up around 76 by the end of the day, according to Thomas Jefferson, that is. Thomas Jefferson was a man of many talents and skills and had been known for different endeavors he was involved in throughout his life. In fact, he used to take weather readings with thermometers and he had his hygrometers he would buy. He was interested in the weather and what it looked like at different points of the day and encouraged his son-in-law to also take weather measurements, readings, and to document what those looked like throughout the day, which is why we know the weather for the first 4th of July. But if you ask anyone off the street, who is Thomas Jefferson, their first reaction or response may not be the man who took weather readings, because Jefferson was known for some other things. You might get the answer that he was the man who had an affair, or maybe he was the man who was okay with slavery, or perhaps someone may say the author of the Declaration of Independence. But unfortunately, some may not even know at all. Jefferson did leave quite a legacy, but as many people know, it's hard to summarize a life in one sentence. And Jefferson, as much as he did and as much as we know about him, we can't summarize him in one sentence or in one potential incident in his life or whatever it is. We need to look at his whole being. And so we see that there is a huge legacy that Jefferson left behind. It'd be a real shame to identify Jefferson only as the man who fathered Sally Hemings' children, wouldn't it? Because we don't even know totally if that's true. But one thing Jefferson does teach us, and that story is no matter how far back in history or how high the pedestal has grown, people do make mistakes. But when we look at his legacy and things that he has done, we do see that he was an advocate for the abolishment of slavery. Yes, he was a slave owner, but as the Declaration points out, all men are created equal. Knowing his beliefs on the abolishment of slavery would lead one to believe Jefferson was not a supporter. He didn't think slaves could be freed at that point in time due to his fear of civil unrest and potentially a civil war, which he would be right about. It'd be several years for that to happen. But Jefferson was also an advocate for religious rights. He did not believe people should be forced to adhere to a specific religion and should be able to worship when or where, how they saw fit. That was a major part of his life as he was the author of the Statute of Virginia for religious freedom. So to put Jefferson in a box with only one piece of his life known and talked about does not do Jefferson any favors, for we still see repercussions of his work today. His very tombstone reflects his legacy, and we can sum up a lot of his legacy just from his tombstone. He was the author of the Declaration of Independence, the author of the Statute of Virginia for religious freedom, and the father of the University of Virginia. And he enjoyed taking readings of the weather. But no matter how people see Jefferson or what they remember about him, his legacy still lives on, and how, even just in the Declaration of Independence, it continues to influence America today. Thank you.